In San Diego, we actually were updating our community plan update. So 2 years ago, I contributed to the sustainability element and the economic prosperity element of the community plan update to make it comport to SB 375. I am totally excited that in 2 weeks, March 26th, you'll all be joining us at our Van Nuys Planning Summit. And I respectfully ask the board for your consideration and answer any questions you may have.
Council, anything for Maddie? Let's start down at the end. Mr. Anand.
So did I understand correctly, you were in San Diego? I mean, how are you?
I've been displaced multiple times. I actually raised my son in Venice, and when he went to college, I moved to San Diego so that I could support both of us.
Okay.
We moved back. Venice has priced us out, and now we're in Van Nuys. I can tell you my experience in the area I lived in San Diego and the area that I lived in Venice. The playbook that developers are using is the same playbook, the Ellis playbook, the SB 1818 playbook. I was active when I came back to Venice. I actually spent 9 hours at the Coastal Commission to stop de minimis waivers in the coastal zone. You all need to be aware of what's happening in Venice, because even if you don't live there, we pay for flood insurance and we pay for disaster relief. Venice is a dual impact tsunami and flood zone. So I'm still advocating for Venice now as a taxpayer advocate, as someone who's been priced out. I can tell you my son went from elementary school to high school in Venice. None of the kids he grew up with live in Venice. The last family lived behind. I used to work at Gold's Gym 10 years ago. Gold's Gym moved its headquarters from Venice to Texas. It's now Google, and my son's last family friend has just been displaced by Google. It's going to be a campus. So I feel like I have a lot of real world experience to bring here, because you guys, this is it. This is the wave's coming. It's coming in. And I've spent a lot of hours unpaid as a resident advocate because of what I've lived through, because of what my sons lived through. We're both college educated. We should be able to pick where we live. And where he grew up, he's not going to be able to live. But he gets the honor and privilege of paying for the disaster relief if a tsunami or a flood roll in. So,
Mr. Luna.
Go ahead.
You're a renter?
I am a renter.
How long have you been renting here?
I've been renting here since July, August.
Of current year?
Yeah, and the building, just so you
Previous
know,
year.
since August, they have raised the rent $400 a month. And
Wow.
they're trying to sell the building. They've displaced a number of families that were long-term. I have 2 letters out. I one letter, but one to Bob, the state senator, and one to Nuys Martinez. Frost Chaddock, the developer that owns my building, is one of the developers that Hollywood is fighting. So I'm trying to hook up Nuys with District 13 and District 4. And because of my experience with Bonn in 11, we could have 4 districts working together against this one developer, because it's impacting that. They own over 200 properties, and they're flippers. So between August and last month, rents in my building on Kester and Gilmore went up $400 a month.
That's ridiculous.
One quick follow-up. Chris.
Sure.
How
Great
long
question.
do you,
That's a
if
good
you were to
issue for Nuys to
estimate,
take up.
how long do you think you'll be in Van Nuys?
Honestly, I can't answer that, because at the rate that rents go up, there's no rent control. I've been pushed out everywhere because of the rents. I live off my retirement. Look at me, look how young I am. I shouldn't be retired right now. We have stagnant wages. My goal is to stay as long as I can, and here's why. I see where Van Nuys is going to be in 5 years, because I lived in Venice in 2001, and I lived in North Park. If you ever had a chance to look up North Park, we have an eco-district in North Park. They used to have bars on the windows 8 years ago. Houses in North Park now sell for $2 million. And one of the things I would like to do is bring an eco-district to Van Nuys, and that's going to be labor-intensive. It'd be 5, 6, 7 years, but it'd be in tandem with a bid with a business improvement district. And if we do it right, we can pool a lot of grant money under SB 375. I mean, this is the thought. We have to get voted in first and build the ties. So I'd like to stay long-term, but to be honest with you, I don't know.
Thank you.
More affordable
let's go
anywhere else,
Stacy
trust
and
me.
then Candido.
Okay,
Stacy
so
first.
hearing what you said, I feel like I already know what you're going to say, but I just want to hear what your opinion is on gentrification.
I'm going to give you an answer you probably haven't heard. I'm for gentrification. I'm absolutely against displacement.
Yeah.
You can improve an area And you can maximize property value with the right developer without displacing who was there. And as someone who's been displaced 3 times
Yeah.
in 9 years, I'm going
That's
to be a
wrong.
pretty big advocate for residents' rights.
Good.
And if you've grown up here,
Yes.
I'm not here to displace you. I'm here to help you. You want a farmer's market? That doesn't hurt me. I can help you. If I want an eco district, that helps your farmer's market. So I've seen neighborhoods, Venice, destroy itself from within. I used to blame a lot of it on developers, and coming back last year, going through the de minimis waivers and going through some of the meetings, I actually sat on their mass scale committee because I was trying to bring in form-based code planning and trying to teach them the playbook we had learned in San Diego. Venice was destroyed from within, and I'll go on record saying, I'll say it to that camera. So I'd like to be the answer and the solution for us working together, not to let that happen. Did I answer your
Bendito.
question?
Thank you, Mr. President. You know, she's probably one of the best candidates that's come along a long way. If I was a business owner, I would hire her right away. She's got a lot of assets. I hope they approve you and you're on that board too.
And Austin, like I said, you got it right, buddy.
Anyone else on the council have a question for Maddie?
How probable is, if you don't stay in this place, you'll find another place in Van Nuys, because they really want someone that more people in Van Nuys. You're not gonna go back to Venice,
Yeah.
are you?
I can't, the Venice that I lived in is dead. The character and
She can't
where
afford
I raised my child no longer exists.
Okay,
So,
so Vienna.
So you'll stay in Van Nuys, definitely.
I've been displaced 3 times, but to the best of my knowledge, I will try to stay there.
But we have like a million rent.
Hey,
control
quit trying to steal her then.
Why don't you go into a rent control apartment then?
I'm too young, I don't qualify. Most of the rent controls are now for elderly senior citizen housing.
Not true.
Well, then you'll have to educate me. I've been to the workshops that they offer, and it's always landlords, and I end up becoming de facto tenant.
No, we've been in rent control for 35 years.
Yeah, all
Well, I'd love to
properties-
talk
all
to you. You'll have to
properties go
educate me.
after a certain time, automatically.
I just know my
Multiple unit.
My building was built in the 80s.
You need to be socially educated.
Absolutely.
This is a free enterprise system, sort of.
Paul.
I'm totally open.
Paul, you have a question, sir?
Just a comment and a question to be aware of. When you talk about the master plans of the city, we saw this in Hollywood, we still see this in Hollywood. There's constant encroachments to expand the scope of the master plan. So naturally, you get conditions like this. All of a sudden, developers come in saying, I want to do this, but you're going to have to give me this ordinance here so I can squeeze this happening. And I want to make the board aware of that as well. When you start saying, yeah, it's okay if they expand, let me tell you, what we saw in Hollywood is a consistent creep into those encroachments. And if you know Hollywood now, as you know about the towers they want to put
Actually, I
up.
was displaced from Hollywood to Venice in 2001 because they built the Kodak Theater. My son started at Garner Street Elementary.
Yeah.
I don't know if you all know, but on March 3rd, residents got kind of a death note blow by the city council. I've emailed you the numbers so that, you know, it was right before I came. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. The city has funded for the city attorney to have a de facto like 5-person team of lawyers represent when community members sue. So what that means is in the old world, the city attorney needed to represent us if we wanted to sue or if a developer wanted to sue. It was one entity and theoretically they were supposed to be 50-50. Now we're going to have split and the developers are going to have, through a very dedicated set of funding, their own 5 advisors that are legal experts to help overcome neighborhood planning. And I just learned about it, I'm not an expert on it, but that's not the direction we should be going. That is
not fair to us.
horrible.
That is the direction we're going, and that's a very large law firm, and they contribute tons of money to everybody downtown, and there's a direct connection between those 2 spots.
So there's your linkage.
Any other
Doesn't mean
questions
we
for
have to
Maddie?
agree with it.
Question.
Yes, Ms. Kelton.
Well, one, the reason why I said no, because I don't have the email set up just yet, so I don't know anything about this, if it was agendized or anything. But how did you hear about the board?
Well, I'm familiar with the whole neighborhood council process because I was active in San Diego. They're called planning committees, but it's the same exact thing. It's just tomato. So when I had come back to LA, having learned the lesson of before, I knew that I'd need to get involved in the neighborhood councils, and I knew there's 95, and there'd have to be a neighborhood council wherever I ended up moving to. And the process is basically the same. I'm a resident advocate and a climate advocate. I don't recognize borders. I mean, we're in a climate resilient zone. Sepulveda Basin is included. I know that in the politics and boundaries of things, maybe it's not, but I look at ecology and also rising tide. We're not anywhere near Venice, but it impacts us. So I heard about this because I'm politically active and I know about the process. And even in 2001, when they were forming the neighborhood councils, kind of on the offshoot, I was kind of interested in what they were doing, what the thought of it was, because what they were selling it as in 2001 and what it's become are kind of two different things.
Anybody else for Maddie? Going once, going twice. All right, I make a motion that we hold a vote to fill the residential renter seat. Do I have a second?
Second.
Very good.
And I might add that that's an at-large seat. There is no zonal.
Very good. And
What does that mean?
That means.
Well, there are 4 zones within Van Nuys, and typically, depending on whose bylaws you look at, there were renters, there were residential renters per zone, but that is no longer the case. The residential renter, there are 2 seats on this board. Maria Skelton occupies one of those seats, and the other seat is open to any zone within Van Nuys.
Great, thank you.
with that, we have a second on the motion to fill the seat. Mr. Secretary, I call for the vote.
Okay, President Thomas.
Yes.
Howard, Vice President Benjamin.
Yes.
Secretary Hendry, aye. Ms. Hopp.
Aye.
Okay, Mr. Lazarevitz.
Aye.
Mr. Martin.
Aye.
Ms. Skelton.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Again. Okay, she could speak. No, she might speak a little louder for my benefit. But okay, Mr. Kamara.
Yes.
Mr. Anand.
Aye.
Anand?
He said aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Mr. De La Cuesta.
Yes.
Ms. Padden.
Aye.
Mr. Lynn.
Yes.
Mr. Luna.
Yes.
Mr. Marabi.
Yes.
Ms. Raines.
Yes.
Mr. Robbins.
Yes.
Mr. Knoll.
Yes.
Passed.
You're all good. That was an arbitrary rule that we had, but you're
We're gonna have to
double
figure out where
qualified.
we're gonna put you.
We need one more seat.
Stick her in the end for a moment.
Well, this is a lovely problem to have.
Indeed
It
it
really
is.
is.
All right, Amanda, are you ready?
Down.
All right, so we are going to recognize Amanda with Mayor Eric Garcetti's office. Good to see you, Amanda. Hello, hello.
Face the crowd.
Go for it.
Good evening, everyone. Sorry for being late. I am the East Valley area representative. For those of you who do not know, my name is Amanda Mejia. I did have a few announcements to give today. First and foremost, I want to congratulate our youth seat. And second, I see a lot of youth out in the crowd today, and I do want to let you know that the Mayor's Youth Council, if you don't know about it just yet, is going to be starting next month. And if you'd like to apply for that, I can send you more information with the requirements, qualifications, and the application process. You just have to be a high school student, not a senior, but freshman, sophomore, or junior. If any of you guys would like to apply, I'm going to just out loud say my email. I don't know if you have that available, anything to write on. And then you, Derek, you might want to start writing down that information too, so in case they don't get it, you can pass that information along. Start your outreach.
We already got you working, Austin.
Sorry. Oh, I don't know why I called you Derek.
We'll call him Derek or Austin. Austin Derek.
If you're ready, it's Amanda.Mejia, MEJIA, @lacity.org.
Can't spell my last name too.
MEJIA.
Put a second.
And then please do email me if you're interested. I really encourage you to just make that first step just to know about the program, and then I'll follow up with more information. And then second of all, following up on the homelessness summit, I do want to let you know that the mayor just announced 2 days ago that HACLA, the City of Los Angeles, the Housing Authority for the City of Los Angeles, was just awarded 490 vouchers for our veterans to be housed. So, I'll let you guys know, a little update.
We've done the 4,000.
We're getting there. And then another event coming up that I know that the board will be attending, I believe, is the LA Cookout event, which is a partnership between LAPD and GRID, the mayor's GRID office. And the closest one to you will be Van Nuys Police Station. And that is going to be this Saturday from 11 to 3. They're going to be hosting a resource fair and also an opportunity to get to know your LAPD along with hot dogs. There's a bunch over there. I will let you have mine. But they will be giving about 500 hot dogs to our constituents, residents. And lastly, State of the City. State of the City will be April 14th. And I do want to invite all of you to save the date. It's going to be at 5 p.m. at CSUN. And once again, I'm going to repeat my email because in order to RSVP, I will need to be able to email you a save the date so you can get that information. So it's going, my email again is amanda.mejia, MEJIA, @lacity.org. So I would love to see all of you at State of the City, and hopefully you can come.
Thank you.
Amanda, you're great. Always good to work with you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's try to get through the secretary's report. Mr. Secretary, you are recognized.
Okay, we distributed, I posted the February minutes. I also distributed it today just to let everybody see that they are produced, but they are generally posted on Facebook and on the website. There was one small mistake, which everyone could agree to tonight, which is I didn't mention the not to exceed amount on the Woodland walls, which was $1,500, correct, Ms. Hopp?
Yes.
And with that agreed and that to be changed, the minutes are presented for the approval of the group.
Very good. I make a motion that we adopt the February minutes.
Seconded.
With that, I call for the vote, Mr. Secretary.
In just a second. Okay. President Thomas?
Yes.
Vice President Benjamin?
Yes.
Secretary Hendry? Aye. Ms. Hopp?
Aye.
Mr. Lazarevitz?
Aye.
Mr. Martin?
Aye.
Ms. Skelton? Abstain, okay. Just a second. Mr. Camara?
Yes.
Mr. Anand?
Abstain?
Abstained.
Okay. Mr. De La Cuesta?
Yes.
Ms. Padden?
Yes.
Mr. Lynn?
Yes.
Mr. Luna?
Yes.
Mr. Marabi?
Yes.
Ms. Raines?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mr. Knoll?
Yes.
Ms. Asgherian?
I'm going to abstain.
Okay. All right. It passes.
Very good. Did you have anything else at this moment, Mr. Secretary?
The event is supposedly tomorrow night.
Correct.
It is, and I am going to it. And
I RSVP'd your name, so you're on the list.
okay, very good. And if others may wish to come, they will probably have to get an RSVP first.
It had to be done by Monday.
Sorry, okay.
All right. Thank you, John Henry. Thank you very much. Treasurer's report, Ms. Hopp.
George, I have a question. In here it says February 11th, so the treasury report says it's 16,000.
I'm sorry?
For February 11th on the report, it says the treasury report says it's 16,000? Less than 16?
Maybe Ms. Hopp can clarify.
Today is 7?
What are we talking about?
What is our budget at right this second?
We have approximately 7,000 left. We allotted,
On February the 11th, we had less than 16.
right, we found out that they've taken the $8,240 something and change for the banners finally. They took out several other large ones finally and paid them. like the cyclery, they finally got their $1,000, and there's a couple of other ones that are outstanding that they've now finally paid. So we have less money because of all of that. I do not have the exact figures. As you all know, I was hospitalized. Though while I was there, I did do 2 reports, but I had no way to copy them. So I gave them directly to Gracie, the general manager of that department. She came and visited me in the hospital, which was spectacular. And then I begged her to make sure I got copies. So they finally came today.
At
She
4
saw
o'clock.
me a month ago. They didn't come until, after 4 today. So I had no time to actually get that report finalized like I normally would. And even if I did, I wouldn't have been able to go copy it to be able to disperse it as I also normally would. So I'm telling you verbally that we've got approximately 7. We at the executive committee went over a number of issues that we're going to be bringing up to be voted upon. So we have most of the money allotted. We will have some left for next month. And basically, this will be the first time that we spent it all, and they can't say we didn't do it properly and it wasn't wasted. So I'm quite happy, actually.
Good work, Ms. Hop.
Thank you.
All right, so did you circulate the report? Do we have
There
that to
isn't,
vote on?
no, there isn't a report to be voted.
Yeah,
on.
that's
Okay.
what I was trying to say, but, well, no, we do want to vote on the fact that we discussed it, and I do have 2 things, though.
You can't
Let's see, no, I didn't. We still have to vote on the fact that we did, and I said there was that much left, otherwise,
Yeah.
it'll hit the fan. We have to have that in the minutes.
Okay, we can, well, I don't know how procedurally we could do that.
Well, you can put an approximate figure of $7,000
Yeah, exactly, you don't have
pending.
to have it precise for this.
Okay, so,
Is there a procedural question?
well, we
Not really.
need to approve her secretary's report, her treasurer's report, with the understanding that we have roughly $7,000 left.
We can do it because it's tape recorder, it's almost like having it.
Okay, so what would be the legal language?
We can't approve the report. We can't approve it.
Yeah, since it's,
Yes, you can.
since it's on camera and video. you can.
Okay, so you would have to give a report though. They would, how much do we have left? How
Right.
much, what's allocated? What's been spent this month versus last month? Because it's not a year-to-date P&L, it's a monthly
Okay, well,
report.
I actually.
I would be happy to table this and we could approve.
No, hold on.
Okay.
If you want to get that technical, see, I'm prepared for you guys, even if you don't realize it, it's here someplace. I
No,
printed
it's
out
just a formality and it's good.
the statements.
If you could tell us what we have
Hold
left.
on,
and
hold
what
on,
was
hold
spent.
on.
You want to come back to this? We can come back to it.
Real quick. I will tell you. Is this December's? Yes, it is. Okay, I have December's. I do not have January's. Okay? So, as of December, we spent $2,152.84. We had, at the beginning of that month, $37.60.82. I have a lot of receipts here from Howard that I just got. That's why I don't have January's, because he literally just gave them to me tonight. So I've got a lot of loose, I can show you all of these nice little things right here. So I have a lot of loose things. That's why I don't have an exact amount for what it would be.
Just as an FYI, we're not taking any action on this, we're just hearing it.
Right, you're hearing it, but I'm telling you that that's what we've got, and
But there's
we're,
no vote to happen on this, is what I'm saying. You just tell us what you want to tell us, and then we move on with our lives. Like there's no vote, there's no action before the board on the report. I'm just saying, if you want to give us a report, that's great, but we don't need it to move forward.
true. But they do like to have that in the minutes because they get technical about it. All right, fine.
Very good, very good.
Listed as a report.
Well, for future reference, when we're approving the treasurer's report, let's have something in writing for all the council members to look at. What we can do is the official action of approving the monthly expenditure report. We will do next month. Ms. Hopp, I do appreciate the briefing and very good work. Thank you for keeping up to date with the arduous paperwork.
Really?
Given your current situation and what you went through. So very good work on that. Miriam, thank you. Yes, Lydia.
Can I just do
do one follow-up first, Jeanette?
Yes, please.
I want to let you guys know that I also visited Jeanette in the hospital after the forums had been done, and she'd asked me to follow up to get the copies, and I did. And I tried, and I was told they can download them off the internet, we're not gonna give the hard copies. So I want you to know, I did try to get those
I appreciate
for you.
that. And by the way, they weren't-
it upsets me today to hear that you never.
Yeah, no, they
were able to
weren't,
get
we
them.
couldn't
So I
download them off the
apologize.
internet.
We love
Howard
red
and I
tape
kept
on this
checking, that's
council,
why. I
so
did.
yeah, we do.
They tell you one thing, but
They
do
made
another.
them available in a file that was not open to any council member other than Dunn representatives.
Correct. So
It was a
doesn't do me
closed
good.
file, password protected. So we got them today at 4 o'clock.
Okay, thank you, and I'll follow up on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
no,
Thank
but
you, Lydia.
seriously, Lydia, yeah, that's how bad it is, Lydia, so that's why I asked you.
Brian.
Thank you, girl.
Very good, thank you, Jeanette. All right, we are going to jump into our regularly scheduled programming here. 8A, new business. We're gonna come back to that
I was
because,
just echoing what I heard.
well, we'll jump back to it, Paula, we didn't forget about you. Brian with the Congressman's office. The Congressman, Mr. Cardenas, has formally invited us to be part of the immigration workshop. We are all very happy to accept the invitation. We did a special agenda item for this so we could approve it as a board. I believe the event is March 21st at Panorama High School, and I did a little research on it. Congressman Luis Gutierrez is coming out as well. I believe he was the first Latino elected to the Congress from the Midwest of America. So without further ado, Brian, if you could brief us on this, and we will take a vote as to whether we will be participating with you.
Thank you, George. Thank
Yes,
you, Paul.
yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody. Before, I'm going to give the presentation, the workshop, but before that, I'm going to take 30 seconds to introduce myself and talk to you a little bit about what your congressman is able to do. Again, I work for Congressman Tony Cardenas. My name is Brian Gavidia. I'm one of his field representatives. And your congressman is able to assist you with anything that is federally related. What is something that's federally related? Well, what do? I work with veterans. Anything that has to do with the DOD, military, veteran affairs. The congressman can help you with Social Security, and the congressman can help you with immigration. So this is why the congressman is hosting this immigration workshop on Saturday, March 21st, from 1 to 3 at Panorama High School, from 1 to 3. At that workshop, we're expecting about 600 people, knock on wood. And